Okay, so if you will, we're going to flip back to page 2-7 notes. And we're going to be on the back and we're going to work that part 2. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay, we are not going to do these 6 problems, but we will do the rest. Okay, so going over this, we're still working function notation, and just remember that function notation is f of x is just the same thing as y, and if there's a number inside the parentheses for x, that's what you replace x with. Now today you're going to see a little bit of a different style problem and then some other graphs and everything, so it kind of changes it just a little bit. So if you look at problem number 15, it says if f of x equals negative 13, find x. Okay, when it says find x, we don't know what x is, but we do know what y is. We know y is negative 13. Okay, so since we know that y is negative 13, we're going to come up over here to this f of x rule that they gave us. But instead of writing f of x, we're going to write negative 13 equals, and we're going to do 8 minus 3x. So I'm going to leave the x alone because it says to find x. Now this is just a 2-step equation, so if you need to solve it with your bars, draw your bars. If you don't need the bars, that's okay. You're going to get rid of the constant first, so we're going to subtract 8. When I subtract 8, that gives me negative 24 equals negative 3x. And then I am going to, not 24, that was dumb. That's negative 21, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to divide by negative 3. And when I divide by negative 3, negative 21 divided by negative 3 is a positive 7. So x is 7. And then you can easily check your answer. If you come back up to this rule and you just do 8 minus 3 times 7, you should get negative 13 like they said. Okay, so now if we're doing if h of x equals 39, find x, okay, you're going to have to use your h of x rule. Okay, so therefore, I don't know what x is, but I do know that y is 39. Okay, the h of x rule, we're going to take 39 and replace h of x and put equals negative 5 over 2, keep the x minus 1. Now this is just a 2-step problem to solve. First thing you're going to do is get rid of that constant by adding 1. And that gives me 40 equals negative 5 over 2x. To get rid of that fraction, remember we multiply by its reciprocal, so negative 2 over 5 on both sides. So if you need to grab your calculator, you can do negative 2 over 5 times 40, and that's going to give me x equals negative 16. Okay, I'm going to check it again to make sure that I did do my math right. I'm just plugging it into this h of x rule, so negative 5 over 2. I'm going to now plug in negative 16 for x, and we're going to minus 1, and we should get 39. If we don't get 39, we did something wrong. Okay, now a word problem, not much different. You're still going to kind of solve the exact same way. Anthropologists use the length of a certain bones of the human skeleton to estimate the height of a living person. One of these bones is the femur. To estimate the height in centimeters of a female with a femur length of x, the function h of x equals 61.41 plus 2.32x can be used. Find h of 46 and explain its meaning. Now remember, this was originally h of x, so they replaced x with 46 because it's in parentheses, so this is a problem like yesterday now. Okay, so all you have to do is come over here to this equation, and you keep everything as it is except the x becomes 46. Okay, so I'm going to grab my calculator, 61.41 plus 2.32 times 46, and I get 168.13. And since we're talking about height in centimeters, I'm going to put cm. Okay, and then it asks for you to explain its meaning. Well, its meaning is that a female with a femur of 46 centimeters is about 168.13 centimeters tall. Okay, so now for the next part. This is way easier than what you think it is. I'm going to probably use different colors so that way you can see my answers differently. Okay, so given the graph of f of x, find each value. A says if f of x, f of negative 3. So they're giving me x equals negative 3. We're going to find what y equals. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the x-axis at negative 3. And I've got to figure out what it's going to take to get to this curved line. Since I already went left, I can only go up or down. So it's going to take me going up 2. So y is 2, and that is my answer. Okay, for B, they're saying f of 1. So they're telling me x equals 1. So I want to find what y equals. So I'm going to go to the x-axis where it's 1. And to get to the curve, I again have to go up 2. So y equals 2 again. Okay, switching colors again so you can see this. When it says f of 0, they're telling me x equals 0, so what is y? So I'm going to go to 0 on the x-axis, and it's going to take me going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So y is 5. Okay, and then the last one, f of 2, they're telling me x equals 2. What is y? So I'm going to go to where x is 2. And to get to the curve, I have to go down 1, 2, and 3. So this would be negative 3. Okay, doing the exact same thing over here, just a different type of line. F of negative 4, they're telling me x equals negative 4. So what is y? So I'm going to go to where x is negative 4. And to get to their line, it's going to take me moving up 2. So y equals 2. Okay, for B, f of 0, they're telling me x equals 0. So what's y when x is 0? So if I go to 0, I am actually on the line and I don't need to move. So y is 0. Okay, for C, it says f of 2. So this is telling me x is 2. What is y? So I'm going to go to 2 on the x-axis. And to get to the line, I'm going to have to go down 2. So this is negative 2. And for the last one, they tell me f of 5. So they're saying x is 5. When x is 5, what's y? So this is 5. I'm not on that curved line, so I must go down 1 to get to it. So this is negative 1. Okay, so y'all are going to just be completing the worksheet on the parts that aren't crossed off. And if you have any questions, let me know.